Good afternoon and welcome to the market close. We've got an interesting day. We do have a green day on the TSX, but I'll tell you, it's pretty much just the TSX. The U.S. markets are looking pretty red today. So what can I say? What can I say? Welcome, guys. Welcome to the market close today. Of course, being a Tuesday, January. Is it the 12th? The 13th? The 13th. Holy banana bread. I can't believe we're almost half a month through. It's going pretty fast. It's going pretty fast. All right. You know what? Let's jump right into the markets. I'm going to pull it on up. And yeah, once again, a pretty healthy day. Well, actually, guys, we're getting close. We've got a red candle right now that has pushed us right down to almost the line. We're getting close to jumping over to a red day. We're getting close to joining our friends to the south of the border. But let's hope. I'm going to hope. I'm going to hope that we can hold on to a green day. Now, there is a really good reason why we're green and the U.S. Well, look at that. Look at this trio of red here, and the U.S. is red, and that's because the things that are doing well today, particularly energy, we're pretty concentrated in energy. So Canadian energy stocks absolutely propping up the TSX today. And we're going to look at all of that when we get to the heat maps. But for now, we are currently up 0.02. We'll see if we can stay in the green. I don't like changing my sign midstream, but I will do it. I will definitely do it if we fall. Right now, well, we're getting back up again, 0.03. All right, looking at the S&P 500, not as good of a day. They are down a half a percentage point, 0.50 to the downside. They're still doing fine. They're still green on the month because, guys, this blue line here, this is our dividing point between a green month and a red month. And everybody's doing pretty good so far in January. Today's just a little bit of a rough day. We had CPI came out this morning on the U.S. side. Now, they did hit expectations, but I think investors were hoping for a little bit better than what they got. It's still, I believe right now, 2.7%. It's still hanging out at 2.7%. And with that number, now Mr. J. Powell is probably going to rally the folks into a pause. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to, there's still a little bit of time to see how that all rolls out. And of course, Donald Trump is trying to file criminal charges against Jay Powell. So, oh boy, it's a mess. It's a mess as usual. What can I say? The NASDAQ is also sitting in the red today, down 0.41%. So we are seeing a little bit of a retracement in tech. Tech is certainly helping to drive the S&P down a little bit more. Dow Jones, even worse. Look at this. They're down a full 1.05%. So the industrial stocks in the U.S. not doing great. The only glimmer of hope are the little guys. And it was a glimmer of hope. They're currently up 0.01. But if you can see in this last hour, oh boy, we got a pretty deep red candle. I expect to see the Russell probably fall back into the red by the time we get to the bell. So what can I say? All right, let's take a look and see what's going on here. So commodities right now, gold actually was having an okay day, but the last hour they have fallen quite a bit. So gold currently down 0.60. Silver, though, all of you folks who were expecting silver to have a bad week, not really. They're up right now. They're up almost a full percent, 0.99. Copper is down a wee bit. But here's our strong player of the day, oil. So you can see WTI up 2.29%, and that is going to filter through when we get to those heat maps. Also crypto. Look at this. Bitcoin and Ethereum both well into the green, both above 3% on the day. So that's not too shabby. All right, let's hit the heat maps. And boy, a lot of red. A lot of red for sure. But if we look down here, these are our energy stocks. Let's actually just pull this up and look at some of these. We've got Synovus here at 5.74, Imperial Oil 4.21, Suncor 4.14, Canadian Natural Resources 2.78. Torlamine, though, oh boy, they're kind of bucking the trend. They're actually down 0.13. ARC is down 0.73. So we got mostly in the green, but there are a few that are certainly struggling. So yeah, not a bad day. Not a bad day for Canadian energy companies for sure. All right, let's get there we go. Let's get over here. Let's get back. I closed it. That's fine. I was going to jump to the U.S. ones anyway. Here we are. So looking at the U.S., boy, a lot of red. You can see some of, like most of tech is in the red, but Google is actually kind of the lone star here. They're up 1.01%, while Tesla's down, Microsoft's down, Meta's down a full 2.1%, Amazon almost down 2%. So not a lot to really sing home about when it comes to the U.S. stocks. And looking at crypto, oh boy, we got a lot of green. We got a lot of green here. Look at this: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP up 3%. Whoa, what did I just do? Apparently I unlocked a up to 4% cashback offer. All right, let's get out of that. We do have a tradition here, guys. It is it's basically a green day in the world of crypto. So let's find somebody who's not having a good day. We'll pick one of these random, this one here. Let's grab this one. Let's see what we got. All right, so we have E4C. They're, oh boy, they're not worth very much. 0.18 of a penny. E4, okay, and the C is, I'm looking at their little picture there. This has got to be some kind of a gaming thing. Honestly, I don't know. Do we have news on them? KuCoin. Well, they're on KuCoin. That's pretty much all the news we got on this guy. Guys, be careful with these. I always say that I call these altcoins, there's like more than 15,000 of them. I like to call them crap coins because they're like going to the casino, throwing the dice, and watching the house win. So be very careful. This might have a function. Maybe this is used as an in-game currency. Maybe. I'm just guessing. I'm pulling this out of my butt, guys. Oh boy, does it smell, right? But yeah, no, this could be an in-game currency. There might be a use for it. I don't know. Don't invest in it, guys, unless it makes sense to you. So read the white paper. Maybe even check with the developers on their socials. See if this can make a sense. See if it could be a part of your portfolio. My guess is it can't be. So be careful. These are even more dangerous, in my opinion, than penny stocks. And I don't like the penny stocks. You guys know this. So yeah, there's money to be made in crypto, but not with E4C. You want to stick with your big coin. Whoa, where are my big coins? Here we go. You want to stick with the big coins. Your Bitcoin. Here we go. Let's pull ourselves back out. With the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, your XRP, Solana, Cardano, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin is fantastic. All right, now, just for funds, I did bring up this one heat map, and this is just showing us the ones that are doing the best. So sort of hopefully, I kind of wanted to see what was in here with these ETFs, and look at this. You can tell it's an energy day. Look at XEG sitting over here looking pretty darn good, up 2.86%. And guys, look at this. MSTE is up 6.36% down here. Holy banana bread. I still think they're still under $5, but it's just funny seeing them there. These ones over here, guys, these are those dangerous ones. See, look. These are those Beta Pro ones in the commodities. So HOU up 5.11. Obviously, that is, I think HOU is their crude oil one, or maybe not. I don't know which one it is, but SLVU up 3.62. That one's definitely a silver one for Beta Pro. Ah, boy. Ah, gosh. Now I'm curious. I'm kind of curious. HOU, what? I was thinking that was crude. Yeah, right here. Beta Pro crude oil leveraged one. So HOU is their crude, and it is up, but it's dangerous, guys. Don't touch those Beta Pros unless you know what you're doing. All right, let's jump back to the chat, and we got lots of time, and I now have a little alarm on my watch to give me the 1 minute warning for the bell. So I should never be late again. I should never be late again. Brian is in the house first. Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, Brian, how is your day so far? Stan's in the house. Hello, all. And we got Lisa with a hi, everyone. Claude says hello. Brian says, I'm still searching for my US version of a bank, BK or EIT, something you can set it and forget it with usually high dividends that never seem to be cut and some growth. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know of any off the top of my head, but I am starting to stick my nose a bit more into US stuff as well, because I keep getting requests. I keep getting requests for more US content. So it's like, all right, I got to stick my nose a little bit more into it. Brian says, I have US dividends that I want to invest into something every month. So yeah, so like basically putting it all back into your US version of EIT. There's got to be something. There's got to be something similar. I know that, oh boy, and I'm trying to remember, there used to be a royalty company I really liked down there. I'd have to figure out what it was. I haven't seen it in years now. And you're not happy yet with your selections. All right, and here's the Nightbot. So here's what we're going to do. So obviously we got the Financial Express that is still going. So right today we'll actually do, not tomorrow. Tomorrow we've already got tomorrow. Tomorrow is our regularly scheduled show, but this will be Thursday. So today, if we get 4 supers or gifted memberships or a combination, that will get us that Thursday show. Now, I also want to point out, yesterday, the secret goat was found. Secret goat was found yesterday, so we have a new secret goat. Now, once again, I'm not telling you how to get to it. It's a secret. But I will drop the first clue on Sunday on how to unlock the secret goat. And I will say, the only clue I'll tell you right now is it's completely different to what we used to unlock the last one. So the first goat, it was unlocked by 5 gifted subs. So all somebody had to do was gift 5 subs to you guys, and bang, boom, done. This time it's, like I said, it's totally different. But I will say, even though I'm not giving the first hint until Sunday, the Sunday show, I will, if somebody hits it, if you guys hit it, that's probably a better way to phrase it. It'll still unlock. It'll still unlock. But right now you'd be shooting in the dark. So your best bet is just wait till you get a hint. That's what I would do. Paul says good afternoon. Scott's in the house with a good afternoon. Brian, I'm still squeaking out again at 0.25% so far. Not too shabby. And Mary's in the house, guys. And Mary, of course, is our official captain of the like button. So if you haven't yet hit that like button, now is the time. I'm always looking to see a record number of likes on one of these live streams. So let's push it to the limit for sure. So good. All right. Claude says, do we receive dividends with CDRs? The same we would with the regular version. Percentage-wise, right? So if you think about it, if the regular version, let's just do this in an easy way. Suppose the regular version cost $100 and gave a $10 dividend. Well, if you have a CDR that costs $50, you wouldn't get a $10 dividend. Well, you'd also get half of that. So you'd get, and this is just in basics, but you would get, in that case, a $5 dividend. So it's proportional. It is proportional. Now, keep in mind, there is a management expense ratio in there. So obviously, CIBC, if they're, or whichever bank is running the CDRs, they're taking their cut in there. But my understanding, and if anybody has information to the otherwise, please correct me if I'm wrong. But my understanding, and this is not 100% confirmed, is that their cut is being basically taken when it comes to the actual price on the share price, how much it goes up. That's where I think they're getting their cut. I don't think they're touching the dividends though. And actually, you know what? I could probably find out by simply charting one. I'd have to chart one versus its Papa parent and see. But that's what I think. I think it's coming off of the share price. Buddha says, why is STRC not available on Wealthsimple? It has been holding up incredibly well through rocky markets. Rocky markets, yeah, paying 11%. It's a good question. Let's actually take a look. Let's pull up STRC. Here we go. So this is Strategy Inc. right here. Okay, and it's a U.S. stock. Okay, so that is interesting. I don't know the exact reason for this particular one, but Wealthsimple has in the past. For the longest time, you couldn't get Disney on Wealthsimple, and it had to do with some kind of legal stuff that was going on down in the States. So when it comes to Strategy Inc., that's a really good question. I don't know. I can look into it to see if I can find out, but I'm not sure why Wealthsimple. It might be. And let me just take a look here. So let's see here. Yeah, Bitcoin Treasury. So I'm just wondering if they're doing it for some kind of. The other option too is maybe they're doing it for an ethical reason, but they've got Wealthsimple crypto, so why would they have an ethical issue? So I'm not 100% sure, Buddha. But that is kind of interesting question, and I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. Silver continues. It sure does. Silver's been doing fantastic. It keeps climbing. I like it. Marina says, hi, Candace. I have a Blossom question. Do they update our portfolios automatically, or do I have to do it manually? Mine is very outdated. Okay, great question. So it depends on how you've got your portfolio in Blossom, first of all. So, and here, while we're talking about Blossom, let's go to Blossom. Here we go. Bang, boom. So this is the 0 to 100K challenge. So Blossom's not going to update it because I do it manually. So I manually update this challenge each month. I go in, I make all of the changes that I've made in that month. I get it. Well, I do that because one of the things I like to do as well is through the insights here. This is where I get my sector breakdowns. So I like to, for the diversification section, I like to have this. I have to have this up to date for that. But yeah, okay. So now let's back up a little bit. If you have a broker that's attached to it, so for example, if you have pretty much it's going to be, I think, Wealthsimple and Trade, I think, are the only two Canadian ones right now. Well, actually, let's take a look. There's one easy way to find out. Let's just go back here to portfolio. I'll click to add investments, and this gives me a look. Okay, so also Moomoo. I don't know if that's going to be Moomoo Canada though, but we definitely have. Okay, maybe it is. Ooh, look, we also have TD now. So if you have, my assumption is if you also have Moomoo or Webull, I think you're probably I think you probably can go. But definitely Wealthsimple, Trade, TD Direct Investing, and yeah, that appears to be everything that they have so far. A lot of these other ones are US ones because there's Wealthsimple also, Blossom also handles the US. So, but yeah, if you are on one of those and you've got that attached, it should update automatically. So if it's not, so if yours is outdated and it's not, and you do have yours connected, there might be a problem with the connection. I would In that case, I would actually disconnect it and reconnect it. That's what I would do in that situation. It's kind of that the number one rule of troubleshooting: turn it off and turn it back on, uninstall it and reinstall it. Because there might be something that's lost in translation there. But if you manually had to do it, so if you had to come in here, go, and when you added them, you went to, add investments manually, and you individually put them in, then you have to update them. They're not going to update for you. The prices should change, but the numbers, obviously, if you bought 5 more of a stock that you manually entered into Blossom, you have to go back in and add the 5. You have to add the 5. So why would you want to manually do it? There's a couple of reasons, of course. And one, as we just mentioned, if you don't have one of the brokers that they do have access to the API. So most banks right now, they do not have access. The National Bank, which I use, they don't have access to. The other reason is some people are like, I don't want to give them access. Well, fine. You don't have to. You can just do it manually in a case like that as well. I will point out, though, what the access that they get when they get access to the API, they basically get a read only. There's nothing, they can do absolutely nothing to your account. So it is purely, it is absolutely safe. But I know there are people that are, still worried. And here's what I always say: if you're worried, do it manually. Get that peace of mind. That peace of mind is important. So I always look at it that way. But hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Your new ETF works. Well, it's not a new one. I just changed it to basically the most volume. So it's just a different setting on there. It's not, unfortunately, it's not what I want, where we could basically add our own, so that we could sort of say, okay, we want these ETFs, we want these stocks. Let's throw it all together in a heat map. That would be very cool. Paul says, my 1 share of MSTE is up 32 cents. Holy banana bread, Paul. You're rich. Tom says, MSTE would have made for a great swing trade today. Probably, yeah, probably. But at the same time, it's risky. That's one of those things. I'm a swing trader, but my risk tolerance is not super high. Not super high. I like stuff that if it goes south, I can just wait it out and I'm fine. That's what I like. All right. Brian says, I've been spending my US dividends on QQQI for the past 2 or 3 months. It's $54 and pays 14% dividends. I'm just not sure if it's the right ETF yet. Okay. Fair enough. We can take a look at it if you want. Let's see here. We got about what, 6 minutes or so to the bell. All right, QQQI. Here we go. So the NASDAQ 100 High Income ETF. Here we are. All right, I'm going to back out to the last year and see how this is done. Well, since Independence Day, it's been moving up. What type of a dividend are you getting with this? So 13% yield monthly, 64.1 USD. All right, so that's not too shabby. The big things I would want to know about this, first of all, do they use leverage, or is this just covered calls, or what are they doing here? Let's see, active managed exchange traded fund by portfolio made up of NASDAQ. Oh yeah, so they got covered calls. They got call options in here. So a call option strategy. So written, yep. Do they have, I don't see any mention here of leverage, but I, of course, would want to go to their webpage and take a look. But right now, yeah, that doesn't look so bad. Now let's go back 3 years. All right, since its founding. So since inception, it's up about $4, and then you're getting all of that income. So yeah, it's not a bad one. Is it a canoe? No, but at least right now it's moving in the right direction. So that's not too shabby. Firan hit an all-time high today. Ooh, nice. So yeah, Firan, guys, this here is a Canadian tech company, And look at this, up 4.91% today, up at 1389, and they, look at this, at this one point they hit a high of 1405. Not too shabby. I do hold these in the 0 to 100K challenge. This is one of these little tech companies that I have a lot of faith in. So, and they're not letting me down. They're certainly not letting me down, for sure. Lisa says, I have to input my trades manually in Blossom because I use National Bank, which I don't mind doing. Unfortunately, some members are skeptical about your portfolio because of it. Yeah, some of them are, but you know what? It's like, I look at it this way. I don't care. And maybe this is the YouTuber part of me, because when I go into, for example, my filtered comments, I call it YouTube jail. Sometimes you get some pretty interesting comments in there. Probably the one I found really funny is I had one the other day, and somebody was like, gosh darn it, you know what? You have really great information, but you're so darn fat and ugly, I just can't listen to you. I was like, okay, cool. So I was just, there's things like that. It's like, it's trolls. You get a lot of trolls, and I'm okay with that. I don't care. People can call me anything they want. If you don't want my information, if you don't want the education I'm bringing, that's your own decision. That's your own decision. So, but there's a lot of that in there. So taking that back to Lisa's comment, over there on National Bank, over there on Blossom, you got all types, right? I mean, it's social media. So you're going to have trolls there, and there are trolls. There's social media, there's finance trolls over there. You'll also get those people who will attack you because you have too many covered calls. They'll be like, "Oh my God, how can you invest in covered calls? Don't you know you're losing all your upside? Are you an idiot?" You'll get that. The thing is they don't understand that people who invest in covered calls know how they work. They're trading upside for income. That's something that they don't get over there. But yeah, I wouldn't let it bug you, Lisa, at all. Now, nobody's actually ever once said to me anything about, oh, nothing you do is legit because it's not attached. The way I look at it is I don't care. I mean, if you want to, let's just go this way. Suppose you wanted to create a fake portfolio, and you upload it over there on Blossom and you send it to me to review. I don't care. I'll review it. It's fine. If you look at those 100K windfalls, I don't have all of those portfolios. Those are just ones that we designed on paper just to sort of show here's what that would look like. So yeah, it's perfectly fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Oh, I have 1 minute to the bell. I think I'm muted. I think I'm muted. How did that happen? Oh my gosh. All right, so I've been talking now for a whole bunch, and I don't know how much you guys heard. Um, yeah, how did that? I don't know how I got muted, guys. No idea. Because there's like, there's a thing I have to click on to mute. I guess I just got muted. Weird. That's strange. All right, is it just me or did everyone lose the sound? I lost audio. Yep. Let's see. Blossom is a strange place. Normally, it's not polite to discuss finances. There, it's encouraged. Also, no sound all of a sudden. No sound. Can't hear you. Mic battery. No. I don't think it was the mic. No sound. No bell. Yeah. There we go. Bell was so loud it blew my eardrums out. Ah, boy. Times like these are why I like closed captioning. Nice. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Ah, boy. Oh, boy. And you know what? I was really into it too. I was on a pretty good tangent. I was on a pretty good tangent. No closed captioning on a live stream. Really? All right. You are back. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I just noticed over there that the mute button was on. Like, I'd have to physically go over and click it. So that's never happened before. I don't know what it was. And I didn't even click the mute button. Like I clicked it yesterday to sneeze, but that was about it. All right. At least now everything seems to be back. Paul said Adams Diversified Equity Fund. ADX is a similar fund in the USA, similar to Canoe EIT. At least that is what ChatGPT says. All right, so ADX. Let's take a look at ADX. All right, ADX. Here we go. Adams Diversified Equity Fund. All right, let's see. Let's take a look. All right, yeah, look at that. They're not bad growth on it. So they're getting a little bit of growth. What is the dividend on it? Now this one is a quarterly dividend. The yield's around the same as EIT though. Quarterly dividend. And let's see here. It doesn't actually tell me what they invest in, but maybe a quarterly version. I mean, it's still not monthly. And if your goal is those monthly dividends, this may not be the one. All right, let's see here. Lost you just before you said 1 minute to the bell. I know. Is there a sound when people hit the like button? No, but there should be. If it were a sound, it would be a cheerful sound. A cheerful sound. Was it the cats? No, the cat's asleep. The cat is actually right there asleep. So like I said, I don't know what happened, unless, I'm wondering, no, because I was thinking like, basically the receiver for the mic's right there. The receiver is like quite literally just right over there on the desk. So I was thinking, could they have lost connection somehow? I don't know. Hopefully it never happens again. Muggsy says, finally, and maybe reset that alarm for 15 seconds before the bell. The only problem is the alarm won't let me set it by the second. I have to set it on the minute. Oh, if I could set it on the second, that would be really good. Brian says, I'll look as well. ChatGPT, I can prove everything. I can prove wrong every single day, quite literally. Yeah, sometimes. Max is in the house with a hello, everyone. Well, hello there, Max. Good to see you. Yeah. Oh, boy. I'm going to have some coffee, guys. Oh, very good. Very good coffee indeed. So, yeah, I do not know. I'm still obsessing. I'm obsessing on that mute button. I'm like, what happened? But, oh, well, it does happen. Rob says, I got into SVR close to the bell at 1065, 104 shares, hoping the Asian and European markets bring it up for tomorrow, where I sell for 43.88. All right, let's actually take a look. You know what? You talk about SVR a lot. So SVR, those, of course, iShares. iShares silver bullion. So kind of a nice thing here. Now, I mean, this is the story of silver this year. Silver has had a fantastic year, and it keeps on going up really well. So this is one of these things. If you're looking at it as a swing trader, it's not really something that you're looking to play a channel. You're sort of looking to sort of follow what silver is doing. As long as silver maintains its strength, wherever you enter, you just have to wait a little bit, and you're going to get that. And you're going to get that exit point. So silver has been doing fantastic. Yeah, just look at this. That's just the 1 year. If we go back to the 3 year, even the 3 year, not too shabby, but you can see all of that growth. Just 2025 has been, it's been almost like it's almost like gasoline got poured on things like silver, gold, and towards the end of the year, even copper. So yeah, not too shabby at all. So, well, we'll see what happens. I'll tell you one thing though, guys. One thing I do in the morning is I'm going to pull this up. I get an email every day. So I'm going to see if I can pull this email out here. Give me a second here. Let me grab this. All right, here we go. Yeah, here we go. I'm just going to drag it over here. So this is one of the things that I like to look at. And I have it in the morning brief. So this one is from Trading Central. Trading Central has a newsletter that they do every morning. But the reason I like it is that this gives me a little bit of an idea of what's going on in the pre-market. So it gives me a general idea. So looking at this in the pre-market, you have the S&P 500 at 7,007. Target is 7,024. So normally that indicates there could be a bit of green movement. And we saw a little bit of that initially in the morning. But it gives you just a general idea. If you take a look in here, I like it. Also, it gives you some analysis as well, so some of the technical. So let's just go to the TSX. So right here, it was predicting the TSX from 1920, 1929. And you can pull up the analysis on that. And I got to drag that over here, put it into another web page. And it just gives you just a general idea, a little bit of tech data, if you like it, a little bit about the RSI, and their idea of taking long positions on it. So it's kind of a neat little, to me, I find it a neat little thing just to sort of get my mind in the flow of what might be coming by looking at the pre-markets, and it also takes into consideration futures, all of that fun stuff. So that's just one of those things I like to look at. All right, let me just drag that back. All right, now, Keto Lion. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while, Keto. Good to see you, though. I bought 10 shares of SIL right near the end today. Nice. Yeah, I mean, silver, I'm bullish. I'm bullish on silver, guys. I think silver's going to have a fantastic week. And I'm hoping all of those people on the weekend who were saying, is silver getting reset? Is the price getting driven? It's not getting driven down. Silver's fine. Silver's going to have a good week. And we're seeing that already. And that's what I mentioned on the weekend as well. So I think we're fine on silver. Scott says, I was selling off Marin Energy today to buy more bank since Marin has not been mostly sideways or down for a couple of years. Okay, Marin Energy. Let's take a look. All right, I'll close out of that email now. Marin Energy. Here we go. All right, yeah, well, they had a good day today, up to 191. So hopefully you got in later in the day, Scott. Hopefully you sold later in the day. But yeah, look at this. They've had a rough, they have had a rough year. Let's go back 3 years, and they've had a rough 3 years. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you for getting out of that one for sure. I don't know where you initially started, Scott. I have a feeling though you might have taken a loss if you got in any amount of time ago. All right, Ian. Let's get my mouse over here. Ian says, I'm not very active on Blossom, but I have 32 followers. Wonder how many are bots. Any of you people in the chat follow me? I follow you, Ian. I'm one of the 32. So, yeah. At least, yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, because I looked at your portfolio once. So, yeah, I have to follow you. So, yeah, I mean, speaking of Blossom, here, guys, let me drop this in. Here is the link for the Blossom app. So I'll pull this back up. I'm over here. We got the 0 to 100K challenge in the Blossom app. And, true to my word, whoops, that's not what I want to do. Let's, delete that. True to my word, I have, and actually, I think I have to click on me to get, do I have to do that? I have to click on me to get to my posts. All right. True to my word, I actually made a post today. Just a little thing on gold. So I'm trying to, one of my goals this year is to put more posts in Blossom because, you know, being an ambassador over there, I definitely need to do that. But what I will say, guys, is with that link I dropped below, if you sign up, be sure to follow me because this is what I do. And see, Steve just followed me. Hi, Steve. I'm following you back, Steve. So be sure to follow me because I like to go through the people I follow. So if I'm looking to just, you know, to look for something to comment or something I want to weigh in on, I want it to be people I follow. And that way there, basically you guys, that's who I'm looking for. I am looking for you guys. Now, right now, I don't really see any of you guys in here. There's a lot. I'm pretty sure CJS is a regular. I'm just not sure who CJS is, but I think one of you is CJS. But I do go through here from time to time looking for you guys, and because I like to see what you're posting. I like to weigh in. I like to weigh in on your stuff. So all of that fun stuff. All right. All right, Marina. There was lots of hype about FLT.V, now Volotis Aerospace, about 5 years ago. I had a tiny position, but sold it last year. Can you explain why it never took off as hoped? Oh, that's a good question. Let's see if I can actually locate the current company first. All right, so now it is Volatis. All right, Volatis Aerospace right here. Oh boy, look at this. Oh, they are still FLT. Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, and let's grab our 10-year here. We're gonna grab the 10-year to see what's going on here. So yeah, a lot of hype. These look, when you see movement like this, these straight up, a lot of times those are hype or some kind of news has happened in regards. So that might be part of what we have seen. So that was back in 21. And this was here way back in 2018 as well. So yeah, definitely had some hype, but something has happened. I don't know. I would have to sort of do a lot of research into news to try to find out what happened to them. That I don't know, but what do they do here? Integrated aerial solutions for commercial and defense applications, leveraging both pivoted and remotely piloted aircraft systems. Okay, interesting. So that is, yeah, what they're doing is interesting. And what they're doing right now, there could be a need for them with the pivot to, sorry, I just saw something ahead. I had to laugh. I'll just share it right here. Thanks, Candace. I'm Steve. There we go. Hi, Steve. I just followed you. I love it. Oh, that was funny. So yeah. There is the possibility that they could make some movement now, but at the same time, looking at their past, I would still want to know what's going on there. Now, the news that I have here, this is only going to give me recent news. Let's see here. Some of their appointments, yeah. Strong growth expected for drones in 2026. So yeah, that could be a good thing. So they may have a good year. They may have a good year. I don't want to rule that out. But something happened. Something happened. How far back can I go in the news? I can probably go pretty far back. Like this is 20 November. But yeah, you'd have to dig back in the news. I would almost say this is Marina. This might be a really good question for ChatGPT. I'm thinking only because ChatGPT can parse all that news like in a second. Or heck, we could even just use the Google, because you got Google. Now you got AI on Google as well. Let's find out. Let's see if we can find out. Why not? Yeah, let's pull up Google. All right. And let's see here. Why didn't let's see here. FLT.V. All right, and I'll just put Volatus. Aerospace. All right. Live up to the hype. Set back in. We'll look at just 2021. Just going to drop this in here because maybe it'll give us some information here. Let's see. Lack of profitability, negative operating cash flow. That'll do it as well. High valuation based on future potential rather than current finance. Oh, I love this line. This is a great line, guys. This is a recipe for a falling stock price. So high valuation based on future potential rather than current financial results. That if you've got that future potential and you've got a lot of hype built on it, you got to deliver some results. And you got to deliver results on your actual in your financials. You got to do it. If you don't, you're gonna run into some issues. And I think that's probably what happened to Volatus. I was kind of thinking something like this, but yeah, AI seems liking that. And we got more like ongoing net losses, cash flow challenges, high price to sales, shareholder dilution. Oh, that'll do it. Shareholder dilution. We were talking about this yesterday, guys. That's where if you add, you basically print new shares, you increase your outstanding, the amount of outstanding shares that you have, that basically drives that price down because it's basic math. So yeah, so there we go. I think that gives us a general idea, Marina, of what was going on there. Yeah, and what I normally say, guys, is this is a general rule with AI. So I had a general idea of what I thought it might be. I wasn't going to say it because I didn't have any data. So using AI in this manner is pretty good. Like if it supports what you're saying, that's good. I would still dig a bit deeper. Like if I was actually at this point in time looking to actually invest in FLT, I would dig deeper. I would be looking at a lot of different resources. So, one, let me just give you an example. I would want to go to Simply. I would like to go there as well. They're really good with, sort of not Simply, all right. Simply Wall. There we go. Simplywall.st. Seriously, guys? There we go. It got me there, but normally, I must have misspelled Simply. FLT.V. .V. We'll put the .V. Flight Center Volatus. There we go, right here. So here, even without going into the part where they make you, where you only get so many of these you can look at a month. I believe it's four or five. So one of the things I will do is you can look at the beginning part for free. And it doesn't count against you. But just looking at this here, I can see a couple of things here. So, all right, the revenue is forecast to grow about 34%. So that's a positive thing. But one of the negatives is they still have had a lot of share dilution. Now, why is a company diluting shares? It's a way to raise quick cash. It's like, let's just create some shares out of thin air and sell them. That's cash straight into their straight into their cash flow. And some companies will do that. So Air Canada did that during the pandemic. Air Canada printed a lot of shares, and you can see they had a giant price dive. So it's kind of that fun thing. And now let's see, currently unprofitable and not forecast to become profitable over the next 3 years. So that's a problem. So if they're unprofitable and they have been diluting shares, now this is important. You know how I said, even though that sort of, maybe they do have a future, but at the same time, I'm looking at a risk here that's, to me, is a big thing. So we got a company who loves to dilute shares to generate cash flow, and they're not going to be profitable for 3 years. So that probably means we're going to see further share dilution with this company. So for me, right away, it's a no-go. It's a no-go. I would not touch this company with a 10-foot pole for that reason. Maybe in the future, but nope, I'm not going to touch them. All right, there we go. That was a bit of a tangent. Scott says a very slight gain on MER due to DCA. I was at about 182, sold for an average of 189 today, and Bank was a discount. Yeah, absolutely. Bank would have retreated today because the overall banks, they were down a wee bit. Claude, I realized the delay is really not that long, maybe 5 seconds when you put the link. I thought it was more like 10 to 15 seconds. Yeah, well, although, keep in mind, the link, when I add the link, it's not going through YouTube, right? So the delay from YouTube to you is about 10 seconds. But when I add the link, it is going through, StreamYard straight. So I think that's going to be faster. That's why I think it'll be a little bit less because of that. All right, let's see here. Brian says ADX has, in general, over the years, slowly had a lower dividend. Every year they have had a huge dividend in November, usually 3 times or more of the normal dividend, not last year. I'll keep looking. Okay, interesting, yeah. Well, you see, that's kind of better than Canoe in that sense, because Canoe tends to not, tends to not pay. They basically do their notional distribution, so it's a non-cash dividend, even though you still get taxed for it if you're holding it outside of a registered account. Tom says, I feel naked. Candace can see my portfolio. I know. What can we say? Garden says, thoughts on the S&P 500 market cap versus equal weighted, considering your economic outlook for 2026. Okay. So, all right, and I'm trying to digest your question, Garden. So, yeah, so let's start here. With the S&P 500, I am expecting it to be up. I think it's going to be overall a good year for the S&P 500. Nothing like last year, and I'm thinking the same thing for the TSX. Think of 2026 as 2025, but toned down quite a bit. So I still think we're going to see it going up. So now when you're talking about equal weighted, I'm going to assume that you're talking about if you're using an ETF, for example, that has equal weighting in the S&P 500. Now, hopefully, it's not the entire S&P 500 equal weighting, because I think that would be a very ineffective way of going. But if it's equal weighted in, let's say, the top 100 stocks or something, that's a little bit more doable. I don't know if I would like equal weighting. I would rather have an ETF, so the management company, I would rather have unequal, so that way they can sort of, if there's one company that is absolutely blowing up that year, they can sort of go a little bit deeper in them. And that, so for example, last year, it would have been fantastic if you had more weight in NVIDIA, because NVIDIA had a fantastic year. So that's kind of the way I would certainly go, for sure. All right, now, guys, just very quickly here, we got, oh my God, we got 2. How did we get 2? Oh, they were right away. Okay, they both came together. I was like, I saw 1 and I went to click. All right, so first off, we've got a $3 super sticker coming in from Marina. Thank you very much. And of course, that means that, and let me pull it up. Marina is our first goat. And this is our new goat. So we retired a goat yesterday because the secret goat had been found. But it doesn't just stop there. We also have, and let me take a look here. We also have a super sticker from Gursky. Love it. 149. All right, let's bring up, and this is the goat that's next to be retired. So this goat, when we find the secret goat, will be retired and replaced by the secret goat. And I will tell you, I can't wait for you guys to see the next one. I will just say this. You guys gave some suggestions on what you wanted to see as the next goat yesterday. And I went with one of your suggestions. So it's cool. It's pretty cool. All right, there we go. Now, I got to get out of here, and I got to get back to the chat. All right, let's see here. Scott says that line for Volantis sounds a lot like Tesla. Kinda. Tesla, oh boy, I watched a video today on Tesla, and I gotta say, they were talking about not just Tesla. They're talking about Tesla, XAI, SpaceX, Starlink, and all of it put together, and kind of where the big picture is when you actually look at all of Elon's companies. And I was just like, holy cow, they're really heading somewhere interesting. And a lot of it has to do with power. And some of the profits that they've been making just from their batteries, and we're not talking about selling batteries, but actually providing power via some of their battery systems and some of their plans with Starlink. It's just absolutely interesting. It's actually, believe it or not, I think I'm actually a little more bullish on Tesla today after that than I was before. But holy banana bread. Scott says valuation of future potential. You gotta love that. Muggsy says another interesting pre-market show to watch every morning at 900 is Verified Investing with Gareth Soloway. I've been watching him for about a month and have learned quite a bit about technical analysis. Nice. I have never watched that. I should watch that. You know what? I'm getting out my... There we go. Whoops. I got to do it again. Because the first one, it was all blue. It blued in my thing. But basically, I just took a picture of Muggsy's comment. So that way there I can check out Gareth Soloway. I can't do it tomorrow morning because, yes, I can. I can do it tomorrow morning. All right. Tomorrow is a scripting day. I was about to say, no, I'm filming. But no, tomorrow is a scripting day. So I can do it. Let's see. I am thinking about adding FFin. Does anyone hold this? All right. Let's go take a look at FFin. That, of course, is I believe that's the Hamilton Finance one. Whoops. Helps if I actually go to TMX. Let's see here. HFin. Here we go. Hamilton Enhanced Canadian Financials. Here we go. And they're down today, but, financials overall was down. But let's just take a look. Yeah, look at this. That's fantastic. That's some fantastic growth on this one. Now, mind you, guys, you'll look down here, your distribution yield, it's only about 3.471%. So this is not a covered call. You're not getting leverage. This is straight, pure Canadian financial upside, 100% yours. So yeah, this is not a bad one. This is not a bad one. I know yesterday when we were looking at bank, we looked at bank versus ZEB. But this might even be better than ZEB. Hard to say, but it might be. So I like it. I like it. All right. Bismarcky, good afternoon all. Hate to be a downer, but the TSX ended in the red. What? No. Don't tell me it's true. Let's see. Oh, no. 0.01% down. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, but here we go. That's red enough. Ah. All right. I changed the sign. I changed the sign. And guys, be nice to Bismarcky. We don't shoot the messenger here. Paul says another stock dilution is stock-based compensation. Yes, absolutely. Who found the secret goat? Oh, who found the secret goat? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! No, I know it was a girl. I can say that much. Oh, crap. Why can't I? My mind has gone blank, but I know. Yeah, it was. Oh. I watched too many names. Please, somebody quickly jump in. Tell me the name, please. Um, 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 Samantha. Yeah, I think it was Samantha. I think. Guys, correct me, please. I want to make sure the right person gets credit, but I think it was Samantha. Okay. Oh boy. Rumor says Blossom is very easy to use and it migrates your portfolio from Wealthsimple very quickly. On Sunday, feel free to review my portfolio and advise any observations, recommendations you may have. Thanks, Candace. Absolutely, Steve. Do me a favor, Steve. Just quickly send me over on Blossom a direct message to let me know, and I'll put you in the. I have one person ahead of you, but if they don't show up on Sunday and you do, well, I'll do yours. I look at it that way. The Financial Express. So yeah, we are putting on the Thursday show. So right now we already got a show tomorrow. We're halfway there, guys. We are halfway to our target. Paul, see how Tesla is almost the safest investment? Worst case if it goes down, you just have to wait. It's true. It is true. With Tesla, anytime I even think, that's it. Tesla's done for. No, they find a way to come back. It doesn't matter. And here's the beautiful thing. Lately, Elon Musk has been they've been keeping him away from the press as much as possible, and that's certainly helping with their price too. But yeah, Tesla always comes back. And Scott says Samantha as well. Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I thought. There we go. Yep, Samantha. There we go. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because I remember she was like, as soon as I found out the secret, I had to see the goat. I had to see the goat. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Now the next one, like I said, with the next secret goat, I'll give the first hint on Sunday. The only thing I will say is that it is not. It's not five gifted subscriptions this time around. It is different. So I gotta keep it. And keep it. I'll also say this as well. The next one, it doesn't involve. I'm giving you a bonus hint. I'm only giving it to you guys. It doesn't involve money in any way, shape, or form. So there's no buying gifted subs or buying a super to get this one. There's something else. There's something else, just to give you an idea. One of the ideas that I didn't do. One of the ideas I didn't do was I was thinking, well, maybe if somebody actually drops 3 goat emojis, that would be kind of cool as a secret one. But that's not it as well. So I'm looking at all kinds. I want to just be creative, as we unlock these. Is it a record number of likes? That's a really good guess. Yeah, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm not even going to tell you if you're close. I want to tell you if you're close, but of course I'll never say no to a record number of likes. In fact, right now I don't even know. I'm gonna click here. I have no idea how many likes are going on right now. So I just refreshed my test box to see 36. Okay, there we go. There's 75 people here and only 36 likes. Uh-oh, guys, we may be summoning Mary. I'm just saying, we may be summoning Mary. And let's see. Brian says, I messaged you on Blossom already. Doesn't have to be this Sunday. No rush. I also sent a super sticker. Has it shown up? You sent a super sticker. Let me see here. Oh my gosh. Yes, I see it. I see it. Oh, how did I miss this? Oh boy. Yeah, here we go. We got a super sticker, $1.99 from Rumor Has It, also known as Steve. And that, guys, let me pull this up here. That is goat number 3. So we are one super sticker or gifted membership away from adding a Thursday show and pushing the Financial Express, pushing this Financial Express one more step into wherever we're going with it. I don't know, and I'm okay. We can go as far as you guys want to go. Like I said, I'm prepared. I am prepared to do this every day. I'm prepared. So we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going for sure. Okay, let's see here. Were you able to get out of Tesla today? No, I'm not out of Tesla, but I'm in a better position with Tesla. And guys, just to give you guys a general idea, I'll share this with everybody. Let's go to the whiteboard. All right. Oh, this was yesterday. Boy, look at this. All the stuff. If you weren't here yesterday, you missed some math. So yeah, in regards to Tesla, and here, oh, you know what? Give me a second here. I'm going to actually pull up the real data. So that we're actually working with some real numbers on this here. And just give me a second. I gotta get to the data. All right. So initially, I had a position in Tesla, and actually here, let me. I can copy paste it into a text box, guys. Save me from having to write it all. All right, let's put in a text box. Here we go. Come on, there we go. There we go. Command V. There we go. I'll make this a little bigger so you guys can actually see it. Or I'm going to try to make it bigger. Here we go. All right. Just a second. I'm going to put this down like this. And you know what, guys? Here we go. All right. So I started a swing trade last week in Tesla. So basically, I initially started at 1,000 shares, but I added another 250 in total, and that averaged me down to basically a adjusted cost base of 40.86. So that there is my break even. This is my target, so $42. So Tesla went into a struggle. So after I bought into Tesla, it didn't do what I was hoping. It went down. So I've been stuck on a little bit of a trip. And just to show you, let's head over to Tesla. And I'm going to use the CDR for Tesla here. Whoops, that's a TSX. Let's go. Let's try Tesla here. All right, so this here is the CDR. So here you can sort of see. So I got in, like I said, at 40.86. And you know what? I'm going to give us a line. Let's get a line here. And I'm going to make this, let's just go with a different, I'm going to go with a little yellow line here. All right, so 40.86. All right, here we go. So basically, if you pull it back here, there we go, right about there. So right about, well, we're in the vicinity. I think the top part of the line is at the right price, but this is where I got in. So I had, we had this channel. It broke down. I saw a bit of a turn, and I was thinking, I thought we might actually move back up into the channel, but we didn't. We actually completed our breakdown. So this is where I got in. So for me to get break even, I need to get above this line. So, okay, interesting. So I got a couple of options. So in this situation, some of the options are, and here, I'm going to bring the whiteboard right over next to it so I can just pull it up. So some of the options is, one, I could just take a loss. I could simply take a loss. Fantastic. That's one option. But I like to do what I call, I like to take step action. So in this case, what I did is basically, and here, let's get me, I'm just going to grab a second one of this. So I basically went in and I sold. I went and sold at, and just see here, I'm just taking a look at the price here. So I sold it at $39.64. All right, and that's fine. So I did sell it at $39.64, and then I did buy it back. And then I went and I immediately bought it back. Well, not immediately, probably, I don't know, half an hour later, maybe. Well, let me see, what did I buy it back at? $39.46. All right, perfect. So when you look at what I basically did, is all I basically did is I took my initial trade, and as a result, and here, I'm just going to grab it again. And let's just see. Wait a minute. First of all, all right, Control C, Control V. Let's do that. And give me 1 second, guys. Here we go. I'm just not going to break down all the math, but here we go. There we go. So what I ended up doing in this case is the difference between here. You'll notice here that that difference is the same difference between the 40.86 and the 40.57. So basically, I averaged down what I already had. So I'm still sitting in the trade. I had no intention of leaving the trade. My goal was just to sort of say, okay, well, I want to be able to, while Tesla's not cooperating, let me take this. There we go. I got another copy of it. And let me start to drag it down a little bit. So here, what did I drag it down to? 40.57. So there we go. So now I'm in the green a little bit sooner. And if Tesla decides to continue to misbehave, so this is where I should have made a move. Like I should have made a move when it came all the way down here. Like I should have actually, sold up here, bought down here, but I'm okay with that. I will continue to leverage that down. So that's one of the things that happens. Like I got a couple of options, of course. I can wait out Tesla. Like Tesla will be back up above here, probably sooner than later. Or if I make a couple plays like this, all I'm doing is when it does go back up, it means that I'm going to be in profit faster. So that is just a little strategy that I like to use. There we go. Anyway, I just thought I would bring that up. And there we go. So that's the strategy right in there. It works. It actually works pretty well. And sometimes it can be the difference between, especially if you get something that comes back up but doesn't quite make it there. If you've used this strategy, you still might be able to finish a trade in the green, even though it didn't get to where you initially started the trade. So you can kind of average a trade down. So anyway, just something I wanted to bring up. All right, now let's actually go big screen for a few moments. All right. Oh, that looks pretty ugly. I'm just gonna power it up a bit. There we go. There, a little more, I guess, readable. Brian, did you miss a $1.99 sticker from Rumor Has It? Almost. I almost did, but we got it. And I don't like missing. I do not like. I think what it is that there were the three of them all right there together. So I saw the two, and I'd already brought those ones up. So I was like, okay. And the funny thing is, even though I also have this little thing up here where it shows me little images, and it doesn't show me. Actually, it does. It actually dropped off the first one. It dropped off the first one, so I don't have three up there. I still have two up there. So, interesting. It dropped off Marina. It dropped off. All right. And speaking of Marina, since income investing is typically a buy and hold strategy, how often do you think investors should review or rebalance their income ETF holdings? Well, reviewing them, it never hurts to review. You can review at any time. But I like to, when it comes to rebalancing, I try, for the most part, I try to rebalance quarterly. And that's just me. It doesn't matter. I mean, and a balance can look. So for example, you can go in and you can look at everything and be completely happy with your portfolio and say, gosh, I like it as it is. That's your rebalance right there. Sometimes your rebalance is doing absolutely nothing if everything is working the way it is. But with that being said, if I have something in my portfolio that is doing some alarming things, or maybe there's some news that broke, I have no problem going in and adjusting a stock or an ETF, in between, just for a major rebalance. That's usually a quarterly thing, and it most times, quite honestly, most times it might just involve a couple of ETFs or a couple of stocks. It's never that involved, because I also like to passive rebalance as well. And what I mean by that is all of my dividends that come in, I don't put them back into the same ETF or stock. I sort of pool the money, and then I use it wherever makes the most strategic sense. So, if I have something that's over diversified and it's producing dividends, well, great. Those dividends are going into something that's under diversified. And, or if I have a good buying opportunity. So right now, when we look at the challenge, well, let's look at the challenge. Let me pull it up here. Give me a second here. Oh, yeah, this is the challenge here. All right, bang. So when we, helps if I share. All right. And when we look at the challenge, I keep track of this. So right now, CNQ is over diversified. So CNQ, for me, I'd like to see that a little bit lower, but I have a lot of faith in CNQ. A lot of faith. So how will I handle rebalancing CNQ? Well, my goal now is to just not buy any more CNQ and just let that number drift down naturally. So any dividends I get from CNQ, and so far in the challenge, we've gotten $89.02 in dividends in total from CNQ. That $89 is not going into CNQ. It's going into other stuff. So I might look down here. So right now I've got HDIV. I just added HDIV. I can't believe I didn't have it already, but it's in at 1.31%. I want that much higher. So a lot of dividends that I'm receiving are probably going to get earmarked for HDIV. I got a few others. Here's Obsidian Energy is one I added. Actually, Scratch pointed that one out to me. 0.36%. I'm liking what I'm seeing with Obsidian Energy, so I might actually look at knocking that up a little bit higher. So, but I do keep track of things. Now, in this case here, I've got the iShares, so XEG, so iShares Capped Energy. This one, it's at 6.02%, but it's an ETF. So if it's an ETF and it is a full sector, I'm okay with this going higher. Now, obviously, I don't like my sectors to go above 20%. And, and this is the pot calling the kettle black, because my sectors are a lot of my sectors are above 20% right now. But, for me, I would try to sort of look at all of the energy together. So XEG, Obsidian Energy. I might even bundle something like PPLN in there as well. And those would be ones I would collectively want to keep under that thing. And of course, I use Blossom to sort of give me a rough idea. And let's go back here to Blossom. So with Blossom, I use the insights, and then I take a look here. So right here, industrial, I'm sitting at 24.5%. Ideally, I'd like that down to about 20, but as long as it stays under 25, I'm happy. I don't want that to go above 25. Energy right now is sitting at 22.7. So ideally, I'd like that at 20, but same kind of idea. Whereas I got a lot of weak sectors. Like one sector that's really weak right now is my technology sector, and I'm big bullish on technology. So I do want to see more moved into technology in this coming week. Oh boy. Uh-oh, I see something. Okay, we've got a gifted membership from Bismarcky. Thank you very much, Bismarcky. And who got it? Jackie. Jackie won And I see Jackie around a lot, so always good to see somebody who I recognize. Of course, I'm now, we had Marina who was a lurker, but I think she's kind of moved out of lurkerhood because she's showing up a little bit. Uh, but that is, as I mentioned before, that's our fourth goat. So we do have our fourth goat. That is our Thursday show. Thursday show is in the books. Tomorrow, you guys, there's nothing you got to do. You just show up. We'll have some fun. But Thursday, we'll give you the offer for Friday. So Thursday will be when we'll do Fridays. Tomorrow, just, I mean, I'm not saying if you want to see ghosts or if you want to see the ice skating goat, sure, absolutely. Or heck, if you want to try to find the secret goat, feel free. Yeah, we got a Thursday show. Fantastic. I love it. Paul. Actually, no. Sorry, Paul. I got to go back. Bismarcky. We're going to get to you in a second, Paul. Bismarcky says, we're slacking on the like button, people. Oh, boy. Yeah, what are we at now? Let me take a look. Here. All right. So we got 69 in the house right now and 45 likes. That's actually not that bad, but hey, guys, just drop the likes. Just refreshed, we're at 40 likes, bit better. There we go. And we're up to 45 now, Claude. So, it works. It works. Actually, I love it. When I'm watching something and somebody says, hey, did you hit the like button? Did you boop the like button? Or any of that stuff. I like it because sometimes I forget. Sometimes I do. And as a YouTuber, I don't like to not hit the like button. I like to interact with the channels. If I'm enjoying it, I'm hitting the like button. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. All right. Now we're at Paul. When I sold Tesla at an average of 487 and the CDR at 43, sure worked out. Otherwise would have been waiting longer to pay off debt. Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing like paying off debt, Paul. So Paul has recently paid off a lot of debt, and that's a fantastic thing. Claude, I should have rebalanced HBTE and sold some of it when it was near $30 a share and bought more when it was near $15 a share. Yeah, well, that's one of those things. I'm actually okay with HBTE. It's just one of those ones. I'm using it for mostly pure income. Any growth I get on it is kind of a blessing. Actually, guys, and I didn't even notice. Let's take a quick gander here. HBTE, where is that sitting at right here? Currently, total return 56.11%. So I'm okay with that. Now, mind you, 1374 is the adjusted cost base. Now that did go up a little bit because I had added some last cycle. So, and I don't think I'm adding any this cycle. I think I'm happy with 100 for now. But, we'll see. Maybe. I mean, if they go down, if Bitcoin were to have a nice big crash this month, I might grab a bit more when it goes down for sure. All right, Elaine is in the house with a happy Tuesday. Hi, Luane. I was going to call you Luane. Hi, Elaine. How are you? Marina, I held some ETFs for a long time, but in 2025, lots of new and exciting covered call ETFs come out, so I bought some. Now my portfolio is unbalanced, and I had to do a major house cleaning. Okay, fair enough. Here's the thing. I mean, as an investor, your goals for your portfolio today could be different from your goals in 5 years, in 10 years. And they will change as you get older and as you get closer to retirement, they should be changing. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing a house cleaning. There's nothing wrong with rebalancing. I always just say though, if you have ETFs right now and they're getting the job done and you're happy with them, I wouldn't just throw them away because a shiny new ETF comes up, because there's all of these brand new ETFs. I like a lot of them, but they are unproven. That's the one thing you have to keep in mind. They're unproven. So when you look at, like there have been people, for example, who went and said, okay, I'm selling all my bank and putting it all into 6E. Okay, I like 6E. I think 6E is probably going to do well, but bank is proven. 60's not. So that has to be something that you take into consideration. So I know, and some of you have basically mentioned that, oh, I'm not going to sell my bank, but I'll just use those dividends and put those into 60. Great. That's a good way to go as well. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, if you are like, let's say, for example, if you were a pure dividend growth investor, and now you're like, okay, you know what? I think I want to be a bit more hybrid. I think I want a bit more income coming into my portfolio. Then that, that can make a lot of sense to be changing things up. But at the same time, like I said, just, and it's not a race. You don't have to do it all in one foul swoop if you're looking at a really big change in your portfolio. I always say try to do it in such a way that you minimize any potential losses, because it's money, and I have a thing for math. Paul says sometimes getting out of a trade too soon for a loss could be wrong. Bought MU before earnings September 11th, 164, and sold for a loss, 157. Now it's 338. Yeah, I mean, if you have a clear plan to take something, like I don't mind taking something at a loss if I have a clear plan on how I'm going to recuperate that money. So for example, sideways movement, like, I take that loss, I move it into something else that is actually performing. To me, that's fine. But sometimes this will happen to you. Sometimes you will take that loss and you'll think, okay, yeah, I need to get it into something else. And sometimes, yep, you can get into trouble. You can get into trouble doing that. Derek is in the house. Highlander Silver, acquiring the second largest undeveloped silver and land package on Earth. That and Red Cat are my only holdings. I recommend both very much. Been superb for for more since investing. Yeah, like I said, I'm very bullish on silver. I think back in a very strong bull market, there's always this funny thing where, and you might even see a video on it where somebody basically takes a bunch of stocks, put them on a dartboard, and just throws random darts, and they make profits. I think we're kind of at that point with silver. You could put a lot of silver stocks on a dartboard throw, and you're probably going to make profits. I don't want to say that all silver. There's, if you have something badly managed, of course, there's always that possibility. But I do feel that it's going to be a good year for silver. All right. Brian says, I tend to hang on to ETFs or stocks that are still decent while I change directions to some of the new ETFs. Yeah, that's a good way to go, Brian, for sure. All right. Adives says, hi, I'm new to stock. All right. Well, welcome to investing. You found a channel that has a lot of content that can certainly help you get into that investing mindset. And we do have these live streams as well. I mean, you're coming in right at the end, but nonetheless, you can always watch the replay if you want to catch this. Or, like I said, there's a lot of good content on the channel as well that can certainly help get you in. This is what I usually will say is, watch a bit of the content, write down questions that you have, and then bring them to the live stream and then ask them. I have no problem helping out that way for sure. Scott says it's weird how the metals were up today, but the miners were down. Well, not all the miners. Barrick actually had a pretty good day today. So what can I say? All right, guys, we are at an hour and a half. So as usual, this is the end of the road, but you guys have been a fantastic audience for sure. We are back here again tomorrow and Thursday. You guys added a show on Thursday. A huge shout out, of course, to Marina Jersky, rumor has it, aka Steve, and Bismarcky for basically putting together that Thursday show for us all. We'll be back here tomorrow. And guys, before I go away, I do have one thing I want to say. Well,